Hello, hello. Are y'all ready? Okay, there you go.
I am ready.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
It's us.
Hi.
Hi.
Yo.
Hello, one
Welcome
and
to
all
the chat.
to the
Welcome to chat.
one and all to the very lucky people who made it just in time for the grand opening of one Club E-Clipse. Tonight we're going to be giving you all a proper introduction to the founders of this lovely new place. Talk about what we do, why we do it, and show you that we have the vision to do it great. Folks, I can't stress enough how special this night is going to be. You've seen the posts. This has been a project that's been in the works for months. Each one of us have been working our butts off, organizing and putting stuff together for our little corner of Earth. Basically, all coming down to this special moment that, just the special moment we've been working towards. Like I said, I think earlier this week, this is going to be a fun end to your Sunday. I promise you. Okay, before I hold any of you any longer, let's finally greet our lovely founders. Starting from your left to your right, we have professional freelance illustrator and mechanical mastermind. It's Marz.
Yes, hello. I'm MellowMarz, as once said, freelance illustrator and concept artist. I usually don't draw mellow things, but rather give that thing a good old punch.
Anything but mellow. Anything but mellow.
Indeed.
Yeah. And right next to him, a fellow little guy. Not just an amazing artist, but also in rigging light 2D stuff, cosplaying, and so much more. It's TWISTEDKEY.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, it's me, Gigi. Or Twist, whatever you prefer. I'm your local little angel of an artist here. No pun. But yeah, I've been creating and illustrating many of medias for about 26 years of my wonderful life, and I'm just so happy to be here with all these lovely folk and their lovely talents. It's such a joy. I'm so excited, and I hope that there will be lots and lots of wonderful things for you all to see. We're gonna bring lots to the table.
Stream's already lovely already. In the middle to the left, a citizen of the void. She's experienced in art, she's experienced in marketing, and she's experienced in shitposts and memes. It's Danette.
Hi, yeah, I'm Danny. I'm 30 years old, and I'm an octopus right now. So
Oh.
yeah, no. Yeah, no, it happened so suddenly. Like one day I woke up and I was an octopus, and I was like, okay, this is my life now, I guess. But no, yeah. Okay, no, I'm a 30-year-old publicist from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I'm not from the US. I like to draw. I like to think I'm decent at it. I'm also been dabbling in UX UI design. I recently got a certification from it, which I'm really excited about. Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about the sprite that I chose because it's not really a Sona. It's more of like one of my OCs. Probably gonna talk a little bit about her in the future. Her name is Beria, and she's pretty much inspired by like succulents. So like I was really inspired one day, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make an OC out of like a succulent and see how it goes. And Beria was born. But yeah, I'm really
Nice.
excited about being here with this lovely group of people. And yeah, really excited about the future and what this will bring.
Very, very much agree with that. Next to her, someone who excels at the traditional, the digital, cosplaying, the CEO of fashionable men and women, CEO of the hard and the heavy. It's Madam Merluvli.
Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. My name's Merluvli. Y'all know me. If you don't know me, I don't. that's okay too. I don't know if I'm all that grand as how Doon said, but I am a traditional and digital artist. I am self-taught. I have been doing digital art for the past 12, 13 years now. I've been doing traditional for about twice as long as that. I enjoy learning and uplifting others on our learning journeys as well. I love to share and to help others, as well as just create things that bring joy to the world. So also with my little character on the couch here, if you know my stuff on Twitter, you've seen her before, you'll see her in the future, you'll continue to see her. It is my darling little OC Mari. She started off as an NSR OC, and from there I just loved her to bits and knew she needed to be more than just something I kept in one's verse. So I hope you enjoy. I did a lot of fun little things with her, and I hope you enjoy everything else that we have to share. This has been something I've been working on with all the others here on the couch as well for the past, God, like 4 or 5 months now. And it's just a really good feeling to have everything like come together. So I'm really excited to hear what everyone else has to say, and I hope you all enjoy the show.
Alrighty. And now coming up next, me. Oh god, me. My name is Doon. I am what you might call a wondrous cryptid and professional concept designer of about 2 to 3 years with a penchant for inventive ideas via shitposting. And like Danny, like Merle, I am also calling upon a design not of my own persona, but of a character of mine called Kipton Swiftdust. He just kind of started out as my character in Final Fantasy XIV hit MMORPG. I just remembered he wore a outfit I like smashed together during like Shadowbringers, and I was like, that'd be a cool design for a fairy, and I did it, and now I just have, I think, honestly, a favorite design of mine. But yeah, no, I am, like I said, I can't stress enough how happy I am to be here. I am excited to share with y'all what we want to bring to the table. And yeah, no. And up next, last but not least, an escaped video game character from the late 90s, from maker of weird and surreal art, maker of websites, and maker of the very building you are standing in. It's the forever and always Valentine.
Howdy. Yeah, I make shit. You'll see what I do more than you'll hear me talk about it. I'm happy be here. I'm happy to be with my friends. Let's do this shit.
Let's do it, huh?
Hell yeah.
Very good. Very, very good. Now, with introducing ourselves aside, let's move on to introducing what we're going to be about with this club of ours. You see, each of us here have yearned for something more, and decided to maximize our talents in the form of this club, to be something greater than ourselves. And we have a diverse array of people and culture. Some of us from Canada, from the UK, like Denny said, Argentina and the US. We at Club E-Clipse aim to shine a spotlight not just on each other, but on others who've been longing for a change as well. And we hope you join us on our journey through this celestial sea as well. Now, I believe that leaves us with how, right? How did we put this group together? How did we form? Who would like to start us off?
I can start. I remember kind of very clearly the day the day I came into chat. I was half joking. I'd gotten home from work. As y'all know, it's not super easy trying to make it as a full-time artist in our day and age right now. So combine that with also job switching due to certain things, because the job market also isn't super great right now in certain areas. And it just kind of left me feeling like there had to be another way. Right? Like there had to be something else in life other than just trying to settle, trying to just like land that full-time job because you know you need one because everyone has bills, and not everyone's lucky enough to be able to go part-time and have the other time to focus on art. Some of us really do have to just hold down the full-time job and make do with the little free time we have and throw it towards our passions, but also maintaining our living space, getting groceries, running errands. So it was just a lot, and I remember just coming to a point mentally, this was a few months back already, where I was just like, there has to be another way. Combine the factor of I also was born with a chronic illness, so there are days where I just don't feel great, and I was like, there's got to be something more to life here, right? So I came into chat half joking with everyone else here that you see, and I was like, what if we just band together, right? Like, they can't stop all of us if we're together, right? And I was kind of joking at the time, and then everyone else kind of chimed in and was joking along with me. And then I thought about it for a few more hours, and I was like, listen, I was half joking when I said that, but like, what if we actually did? The people you see here are people that I've worked closely with in the past, both on just one-on-one projects, on little group collabs, be it art pieces, be it just like spitballing things. Some of us do actually delve into game design on our own as well, different studies. It's really nice that all of us kind of put this as a priority to come together. So that's kind of what led me here, at least. I know I did kind of formally ask everybody as well, and then Val was a key player here too, and I kind of felt to myself, okay, Val's on board, then yeah, we got this in the bag. So if anyone else wants to like add to that, you can.
I mean, when you said you were half joking, I was never half joking. I was full in it. I was ready.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I wasn't
together strong.
I wasn't half joking either. I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready for this.
I was down the clown.
Yeah, I remember. I think me and Val were on like a voice call when you were first talking about that. That was that right before or during the day of the eclipse?
This all occurred. So we actually formed together the day of the eclipse.
Yeah.
Which is why we have the name that we do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we kind of like.
Of all the times to do it, why not now? Yeah.
It felt like a sign, and personally, I am a strong believer in the sign and some other higher power, forcibly showing you things, whether you're like timid of the change or like the what ifs or the fear of the unknown, just kind of showing you like, hey, things are lining up here, and it probably won't ever happen again this way. So it was just kind of that push to get us to jump. Yeah, so Rocket Spy, the push to get us forward, like I was just saying, it was our collective determination and belief so strongly in like, we can do this and like tackle all the aspects that we wanted to like make us a well-rounded group, outweighed our fears of the unknown. And there are several of us on here, like, the way our personalities mesh kind of helped us, because certain parts of us are very like structure oriented and like schedule oriented, really good at setting like a template, a design. For others who maybe won't have as much free time, but they can come in and like deliver their part as well. So if the structure was set, the person who didn't have as much free time could easily just come in, add their piece in, and then be free to go and like tend to whatever else life needed them to. So it helped. We had a really strong foundation. And we kind of broke it down into what we all wanted out of this group. Kind of what the odds were against us individually, like if you're an artist to start out from scratch, right? Like, oh, there's the
Mhm.
social media to tend to. Oh, you gotta be making content all the time because that's what they want. Oh, you have to make sure you're posting here. Even if you don't get all those social media sites, as long as you have a strong standing or a foundation you've created in at least, I'd say 3 of them. Because realistically, you'll have people come in from different sites. Not everybody uses like all, all of them out there. So it was trying to minimize that, like, oh, I have to be everywhere all at once, all the time, and just scaling our focus down to a few areas to, like, work with our strengths that we knew on our personal accounts we already had a standing to kind of help everyone else get aware of, hey, we come together to do this, to kind of give ourselves a good start, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah,
no,
and I
I
really
know.
love what we have
Stronger
here.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know definitely in my case, I was, I guess, excited to be a part of this thing because, as I've told you all, my work, a particular thing about them is that they're very slow with, like, in terms of, like, communication. So having not just this, but be working on it with, like, a group of people, or I can get, like, something more better in terms of, like, receiving feedback on this kind of stuff. And not just that, just like, you talked about, like, the types of people that we are gelling together. I know for me, in that case, it's like, as someone who only has, like, a little bit of experience with this kind of thing before, I do feel like this thing has, like, helped me push to be, or at least, like, inspired to be, like, more proactive and, like, work. So yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, all of us wanted to also have this group as some place that we could grow from and, like, to help us on our own, like, journeys as well. But working together, it not only helps you grow as an artist, but as a person, because you're exposed to multiple kinds of perspectives, multiple ways of thinking, that maybe someone brings up a point or a different view than you. And so you get to grow and your mind becomes more open-minded because you get to take those things into factor and kind of have healthy discussions about it. And it helps because we are familiar with each other. So it's never like we have this understanding with each other that, like, we can bring something up and know that our coworkers essentially now, our coworkers
Yeah.
are there to help us
Basically.
find solutions to issues and also provide tips and things that can help us just kind of overcome obstacles. So it's a really healthy environment, and it's something that I think is a really strong factor to have in this day and age.
Yeah, it's something that indeed is very important in this day and age because there's just a lot of like miscommunication sometimes. So it is really nice to have just like a very well bonded team of people who you care about and you've already established so many different things with, and you're so comfortable with being real with. And in that sense, that is something that will showcase itself very strongly within our group of lovely lovelies here. So I just know that's a very strong focal point and that we'll be able to help each other out in so many different ways and grow with each other. And that's in itself is something that's very exciting to me.
Yeah, and like for example, in my case, in which I work a 9 to 5 like job, like administration work, so it has almost nothing to do with art on itself or like the creative field. And it's a good way to like get back into it a little bit because it tends to like having that routine tends to drain me to the point that I sit out in front of my tablet and I don't know what to draw. So having this little bit of like incentive and like having people with the same ideas and like the same mindset kind of helps out in that sense as well to like do more in the creative field, like do a little bit more, and maybe I don't know, maybe one day see the fruit of that and like maybe like workplace or like projects and stuff, that'd be amazing. So it's really good to be here, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I just add on to that, like for me it's I always like a good sense of like, community and everything like that, because when it comes to, yeah, like the biggest thing when it comes to like kind of trying to get more out there and get your name out there, and also like just just have a good sense of community, is just putting yourself out there. And the biggest thing is collaboration, and I always enjoy like a good, collaborative, you know like a collaborative project with friends and things like that, just because you get to see a good range of different styles. You get a good range of like people's workflow and mindset, and you can work around that. You can work in, with that. And for me it's also just nice to you know have just good group, um how to word this, to have good group synergy. And that's the biggest thing. Good synergy, like means that you have good, like, oh, wait, we got a good flow in our workspace, good morale, and our projects get better and better and better. And I always enjoy when like synergy is like the first and foremost like priority when it comes to a group. So yeah, this group and other groups, yeah, I think it'll be really cool to see where we go from here.
Yeah. And even like before we got to like this debut, we've already had like a lot of like work during the show for ourselves. Like there's like obviously there's like the social media stuff of like the meet the artist things, and of course we have like this whole club made out by the very lovely Val. Um and we have the website also shown also made by him.
See,
And
I'm here.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
doing the stuff that I'm not so good at, like the social media thing. I'm not so good at a lot of that stuff, but I am uh stubborn, and I like tech stuff, and I like 3D modeling, and I like websites and web design. So that's another thing we got is we can cover each other's weaknesses. So when the things I'm not so good at, there are other people here who can cover up for that. And likewise, if somebody else isn't so good at something, but I am, we cover each other's weaknesses, and we're a well-rounded group. What you need.
That is
Heck yeah.
so true.
Yeah.
And we are so grateful for literally everything Val has done. Like,
Yeah.
this whole like club environment that you see, like the couch and everything, and even the background and the moving models, this is an entire working like 3D map. So, like he put that all together, and the website design.
It's so crazy cool.
Like,
Yeah.
he did that. So
Damn.
Val does a lot of work behind the scenes. He set up a lot of things and like taught us different things that we needed to kind of like, what's the way? I won't say like evolve, but like incorporate our art into like the tech side, which to me, as a person who loves both, that is like the most beautiful harmony I can see. Like just always seeing art get elevated to the next level and combine it with tech is just such a beautiful thing to see. But yeah, Val does a lot behind the scenes here, and like he said, there are many different strengths and weaknesses we each have, but because of the type of people we are, there's always someone who can help or can cover someone else's weak point, and then that person gets to just play to their strong points and just worry about bringing their A game to the club without having to worry about like, oh, well, I'm not super great about this, and like this is going to be a hindrance. No, absolutely not. We're a very welcoming group of friends essentially with each other. We can be one-on-one, real with each other, what we need to be, and then also encourage them to focus on your strong points, as long as you communicate it well enough. And communication is a very strong, I think we have a very strong communication foundation with each other here too. That was another thing that we were like, it's really hard where we're just tired of like lack of communication in certain IRL situations. So that was something we wanted to really compound on in this group to make sure we have a really good level of communication with each other in case something goes wrong, or if, hey, I've got this idea, what do y'all think? And we can just discuss. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's. I was just gonna say that's pretty much how we're here.
Yeah, that's how we're here. We all collectively were like collected with joy from lovely Merle. And now we're all here with everything that we have to showcase, and it's just going to be a really great time.
I'm so excited to show y'all.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, no, it's. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of his stuff has just been reminding me of, I guess, just like how we met in general. You know, I know some of us met through like through Merle stuff. Some of us met through No Straight Roads.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, I pretty much met all of the people that are here through NSR. Oh yeah. Like yeah, no, like I pretty much met them at NSR out of the memes of NSR, to be honest. Like when I got closer to them, I was like, I suddenly saw like, I don't know, a meme of No Stray Roads, and in that moment I was like really into it. And I was like, hello, yeah, I saw this and it was so really much funny. So like we just started talking about it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as well. I met everyone here through No Straight Roads, in particular when the voice actors of the characters in the game started to stream on Twitch back in, I believe, 2020 or 2021. It came at, I know for me for certainly it came at the right time for me, it and the game in general, where I had just moved and was in the middle of like, I think my second to last year in college, and it was it was just like the first like community I ever got to be like a part of, and then it led to me being friends with you lot, a couple of which were like part of the mod team, and then I was on that for a little bit, and eventually I got we just became friends like beyond that, basically, correct? Yeah, no, it's just like
it started through NSR and then it just clicked. Like, it just kept
And
contact and stuff.
And it strengthened through Final Fantasy for everyone here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Marz came along through
Mm-hmm.
NSR. Marz doesn't play Final Fantasy 14 with us, but Marz also is in a lot of different fandoms and interests that we all share. I think each of us kind of met Marz at a different time during the same time period. I know I met Val and Gigi before NSR.
Oh yeah, I met you back in the Pokemon fandom.
Yeah. Pokemon was such a good time. It still is.
It was so long ago. It's crazy to think about that it's been so long.
I know.
Yours was 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And I cosplayed him again this year. Like it was wild.
Time is a flat circle. We return.
Yeah. I'd I was sorry to interrupt. I was gonna say, meeting everyone here like is definitely like it came into like different intervals and things of that nature. Like I found Merle through her cosplay of Eve randomly on social media, and then
everyone found me.
Oh yeah,
it was so good. Love it.
That's the first encounter I had with you, and then like I saw you in a Discord, and I saw Discord, and I was like, you, and then and then it kind of snowballed into like meeting other people, like meeting Doon through our common interest of fighting games and things of that nature, right? Also, like met Gigi, Danny, and Val through, also like EdSR and also like Merle's community and such like
Yay.
that, right? And had to, it just kind of forming, bonds and relationships through that. And yeah, so it's actually, kind of interesting seeing how like it was, like how we all come together in our own different paths.
Yeah.
That we got here. So it's cool.
Yeah. It.
Been wonderful.
Yeah. No. It. God, it's now making me think of just like the art I've seen all of us make since then. I know I was particularly I don't know how you would say this, but I remember at one point I somehow made 40 like 40 like NSR pieces during the half of October in one year
Oh
somehow.
my god.
Dude, NSR, like,
God.
either that game hits you like a truck, or you're just like, yeah, it's cool. And I don't think I've seen any artist, like, outside of the pockets of, like, those of us that were, like, into NSR, like, at the time it launched, even the following year after, and then they launched Encore Edition, like, it was a wild time for sure. It, like,
It's like
and it wasn't just like one person, it was like waves of people, and we were just busting out art, and we were elevating art skill. Like, that was a nice time to look at everyone's
Yeah.
art, not just the people here, but like other artists online in different communities, the zines that came out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that was
Like-
it was such like its own kind of movement. It was really interesting to kind of be alive for it. But also, you mentioned people's pieces, dude. Would you like us to show them off?
You know what? I think that might be a good time to.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Oh, let's get this
Oh.
to highlighting our pieces then.
We might have a question though.
Oh
What's
yeah, I
your
think we might have two.
favorite NSR boss? Rocket Spice asking. Music and
Ooh.
design wise.
I have a
Ooh,
feeling
guess
you're
we
gonna
can go
see our
left to right.
bosses in a minute too, though. So
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
We'll see
We
that
will-
You're
too.
gonna see it.
Just to let you all know, we will have if we get if we get questions, we will have a Q&A segment later on.
Yeah, we
Um,
will.
we will answer y'all, don't worry.
Yeah.
We'd love to answer questions. So yay!
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think Merle, you're absolutely right. I think it's about time we start showing how we walk for walk, right?
Okay.
I think let's do this in order of like the of who got introduced. So Mars, are you ready to talk a bit about what you made?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Ready,
Everyone
willing,
pray
and
for
able.
me
Oh,
that everyone pray that I did this right.
It's okay.
Alright,
You got
alright,
this.
Here
I
we
believe.
go.
I believe.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
That's there we
Perfect.
go.
All right.
All right. So, Mars, which one do you want to start with?
My piece. You know what? We'll start off from top to bottom.
Yeah.
So, so for the top piece particularly, it's a Sonic picture. My goat, my number one.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
I made this around the time of 2020, right? Obviously, that was a strong year for a lot of people. A lot of things happened that year. We understand what happened. But in this particular image was like it kind of, I put it as my gold standard of like what I want for my artwork to be going forward, just because it helped me get through a lot of things in terms of like just like art wise, mental things and such, and it came from the birth of frustration of being like, oh, I can do better, right? And it didn't hit for me until I watched a stream from one of my favorite artists, Simon Anderson, Snake Pixel, creator of Owlboy, if you're not familiar. And
Oh.
when he started exclaiming and talking about his love and interest for things of like love action and love of like, you know, dynamism and everything that just gives you so much energy in a picture, right? Makes you want to come back to it. That hit for me very much so, because that was my ambition from the start when getting into art and taking it more seriously. So I decided to kind of take that energy and put it into this piece. And it took a good while to get it finished, but I think it was very much worth it, because this is still one of my proudest pieces I've ever made, just because of like the story behind it and what it's doing for me now as an artist going forward. So yeah, and I love Sonic.
Yeah.
I can definitely agree that Sonic was formative as frick for me. I remember, I think it was either New Super Mario for the DS or Sonic Rush. That was like the first games I
Oh hell yeah!
ever played.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. You ready to continue with your next piece?
Yes.
Hey.
So, the next piece is of the character Naga Rider from Indivisible. All right.
Mhm.
It is a indie RPG Metroidvania type of game, right? A really interesting fusion. And this was developed by Lab Zero Games, now defunct company, unfortunately, but they were responsible for Skullgirls, right? If you're familiar with that game.
Mhm.
And the reason why I drew this picture in particular was because I wanted to show my love and, you know, heart for the game itself, because I love the game's aesthetic. Aesthetically, it is one of the most beautiful games I've seen, and it's also taking inspiration from Southeast Asia, right? A lot of that imagery, like Buddhist and Hindu mythology and such and like that, right? And I found it super unique. I love the art style, the character designs, the world was so unique to me, you know? And it unfortunately didn't catch on to a lot of the broader audience. However, I wanted to show my love and dedication to the game, because it was the game that got me to really also like say, yeah, I want to take this professionally and, you know, become better at a lot of things like environment and character design and color and all that stuff, right? And so I consider this picture a love letter to that game, but also just kind of a this is the result of what inspiration can get you if you really dedicate yourself to, you know, following that ambition. So
Yeah. Also, I just want to say, someone's rating us. Oh my god!
Oh, we're getting a rating.
Hell yes!
Hello.
Thank
you.
All right.
For the raid.
Hell yeah!
Hi,
Welcome.
everyone.
Heck yeah.
Oh my
Welcome.
I wonder
god!
from
Which is-
Meowstein.
Meow
What a lovely name.
Hello,
Welcome, which is
Meowstein.
showcasing some art pieces if you feel like sticking around.
Yeah.
Yes.
And trust me, we got some pretty good art pieces to show here.
Mhm.
But yeah, is there any more you want to say about this, or are you ready to continue?
Just one last thing.
Okay.
I also like Naga Rider is a super sick character, and also being able to do my own homage to the Akira bike slide was super nice, because it wasn't done in the game, oddly enough, and I was like, I need to fix that. So yeah.
I see. Yeah, no, he looks sick. As someone with who's artistic for tokusatsu, yeah, this is good. Very good. Thumbs up.
Oh hell yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Ready to continue?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, this piece. Oh my gosh.
These piece.
Oh my goodness. So this particular picture is what I call like this is legit love right here, right? Because so this picture is, you know, of the game No Straight Roads, right? As we mentioned, you know, before. And it is a cityscape picture that I did for the Shakalaka Bam zine back in 2021, right? And this was technically the second piece, I did for it, but this is the first piece that's shown off in the zine. Oddly enough, it's very interesting. But I how do I word this? I don't know what energy I got when I made this, but I know that when I made this, I was very much driven by the idea of saying, "Hey, I want to showcase my love for this game and what I want to see more out of the, you know, what I want to see more out of this company, right? Because I love their vision, I love the vibe, right? I when I first played it, and I just fell in love with all the music, the characters, the colors, and everything like that. And the most impactful scene for me, what I knew that this game had its own vision that needed to be heard, was the start of the game when the title drop happened and you hear the music like swell up and everything like that, and it goes to this heavy guitar solo, and that is still one of my favorite scenes in the game. So I decided to show that show that through this piece, and really show that this company is something special to me. So I poured my heart out in this, and I don't know if I could ever do this again because there was a lot that went into this, but I'm so happy that it was made and it was able to be seen by the developers, knowing that, hey, I give a shit about you guys. So yeah, that is basically my pieces. A lot of love comes from my pieces because I want to show that I really care about what I do.
Very clearly. Before we move on to the next person, is there anything you want to shout out to? Any like socials you wanna promote?
Yes, indeed. Well, if you can, okay. Well, if you want to find me in my socials and everything like that, you can find my card, at just MellowMarz, right? Easy, or MellowMarz art on Twitter and everything like that. And if you want to see the current project that I am a part of, it's another zine. It is a tail zine, called Flying High Zine, and I highly recommend you guys check it out. It's coming out soon on the 20th, so keep a lookout for that because I'm doing some graphic design and making a piece for it. So please, help your boy out. And that is all I have for now. Thank you.
All right. Gigi, are you ready?
Oh boy. Yeah. I'm happy to share.
All right. Like every every time I see your art, I just think of like, oh, colors.
Colors.
Please.
The colors.
Hey,
What?
you want to start from top to bottom?
Yeah, top to bottom seems like a really good way to go, honestly.
Alrighty.
Yay! Oh, yes. Goodness. This lovely, lovely piece is actually just a still of an even bigger thing. This is actually a whole VTuber model that I made personally for myself and my friend. This is Pomni from the Amazing Digital Circus, and it is actually, I believe, my third personal model that I've ever made when it comes to just art in general, just something that I wanted to work on the side to see like my style, my limitations, to kind of like discover how I would like to make live 2D and VTuber models in that sense. And I learned a lot making this model, especially with all the layers that had to go into it and the little effects that you can put into such a thing. But it really has helped solidify like how I want to stylize things. It's been a very important process, which is why it's here, of course, because it brings me so much joy. So many people that I've lent it to really enjoy it, and I myself enjoy that aspect of creating where people can get joy and fun from the stuff that I can make for them. So in general, it's just a very like fulfilling like media for me to delve into because I very much enjoy making the live 2D models for the more like I guess professional side of my art life, because I do like to keep some of my art on the side as hobby stuff and then some of it as like more the professional stuff. So this falls into more of the mix of both leisure and professionalism. and it's
Mm.
just a really nice piece. I'm very happy with this model. It has made me realize how much I really do like creating things with live duty so much.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, it's like, and it's of like the standard that you have for like creating like the fully rendered and everything art you also do. It's just like, yeah, no,
Puppy
it's just
eyes.
like, in my opinion, it's beyond words, like how good the rendering is.
I'm so very flattered.
Oh, bye, Angry.
Oh yes, take good care.
Take care.
Okay,
Later.
would you like to continue with the next piece?
Yes, of course. Ah yes.
Oh, the best character.
A piece
Best
of pride
character.
and joy indeed. Oh yes, very much best character. This lovely, lovely Hobie piece was something that, really helped me solidify more of my line art style for sure. This is definitely something that is more reminiscent of how I do line art and illustrations like currently. And it was really like a big like opening, like break open for anatomy and everything when it came to how I wanted to stylize things with my work. It was a lot of fun with textures and textured line art. It was just
Mhm.
a really big challenge in itself because like the entire style of like this character is very sharp and pointy and just it's something so different from what I was like used to at the time. So it was like just like another really nice piece that I was able to create for a friend because a friend did ask for this lovely, lovely piece. And I was so very glad to be able to like capture the personality, the vibe, the extreme colors that come with this character.
Mhm.
And just it's like it's made me very very happy with my just general rule of that I'm always going to be an artist that uses as much saturation as humanly possible but still having a really good balance so that it's not like going into like eye strain areas. I'm always very
Mhm.
very prideful of being able to capture a very good like middle ground of strong juicy colors
Yeah.
and very sharp expressions. So I just really, really, really love this piece. It definitely helped break me out into figuring out how I liked to draw things and just
Yeah.
very, very shameless, very, very fun and free.
Yeah, no, if there was a character at all to like really push you into like how you do like your techniques and stuff, just how you art, how you draw, Hobie seems like the perfect like character to do that with. Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, no.
It's been a great time with Spider Verse for sure. I was very
Yeah.
glad for that fandom for the short time that I was in it.
Mhm.
It helped me develop all that I need to know for the current time, and I would definitely never trade that experience again.
Yeah. I'm very thankful for it. Not I wasn't part of the fandom myself, but I was really into the Spider Sona stuff. Speaking
Yeah.
of which, would you like to continue to your next piece?
Yes, we can definitely go there. Yes.
Very
Oh, I remember this piece. This one was a doozy. There's so much behind this piece. This piece means a lot to me, which is why I did choose it because it's not only just like the transition from me understanding how I want to like draw anatomy and how, like the line art and techniques that I like to use for art. But it's kind of like a freeze frame in time where I was very heavily into Spider-Man and I still love it, of course. But it's a freeze frame for the time because this piece was made during such a wonderful time. All of the other like little spider sonas in here, because the main one is mine in the middle. It's a wonderful design. I always love drawing this design. I'm literally
yeah.
so proud of it. It's so colorful in all the right ways that make me very happy. It captures all
You
my favorite types of colors.
you better be. It's such a I might I say I'm a little jealous you were able to make a design as cool as this. Like, oh my god. I
Mhm.
stuff like spandex stuff in general is like a thing I
Mhm.
struggle with. There's like a few times I think I got it down, and it's like looking at this is just inspiring me to do better. Yeah.
I believe in you always. I was a person when I first was approaching this, I had no idea how to make superhero outfits or anything. I've never touched anything like that ever. So me being able to like really hit the ball and like be really confident with this type of like outfit attire was really great for me. And then,
Mhm.
everything around this piece and how all the other like spider sonas in there are all some of my friends, the spider sonas, who I hold very dear. And, at the time when I was making this piece, I actually traveled to see my friends that are all in this piece. So it's a very like heartfelt, heartwarming piece because I was able to finish it whilst I was over there with them. So I really, really love this piece. I love that it's here. I definitely know that I want to get even stronger with background stuff for sure. But I'm still very proud of everything that is showcased in here. It's just a very heartfelt, wonderful piece, and it really does help show the transition from going into different things and traveling outside of my comfort zone and how that seems to be like genuinely a very good experience for any artist really. I can definitely recommend it to anyone that if you want to improve somewhere or you feel like you're stuck, just try something that you're not used to and you might make something crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I am glad I now know the personal story behind it.
Yeah, Titanishi,
If I
it's
could,
very
I would, if I could, I would go on about the importance of like fucking Spider-Man for myself personally, like beyond Spider-Verse.
yes.
I just made a pun there. God damn it. Um,
I was like, yo, let's go. Pun.
Let's go.
um,
You got the pun.
oh god, oh no. But yeah, no, it's just amazing stuff here. Um, Denny,
Yeah.
are you
That's
ready to show
me.
your stuff? It's
Yes,
you.
I am. It's me. Oh my god. All right. The first one's gonna be really funny. Let's go from top to bottom. That's fine.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, I mean, if you want to start in the middle, I don't mind.
Listen, they were numbered weird in my folders.
It's
Oh.
fine. Okay, this one. Oh
You
my
got
god,
this.
it's so green. So this one was actually, I think it was even before meeting you guys. This one has many years already. But I do really like the expression I made of Zook there. This is Zook from NSR. He's eating one of Sayu's snacks. I forgot the name of the snack, but it's one of Sayu's snacks. This one I remember was one of the first ones that was actually like it got some kind of traction because I always been like drawing and basically throwing stuff on Twitter, but didn't get many traction. Not that I mind, like I just throw it because I draw and I like to draw and I just throw it in there for people to see, mostly people I know. This one started getting some attention due to like Stephen Bones streams. Because I remember I put the tag No Stray Roads on it and it picked it up, and he picked it up in one of the streams to show, and people were like having fun about the same thing that I did, which was this expression of Zook. They were like, what's going on? Like he has his mouth full of the stack. And it was a doodle basically. It was just like, I just wanted to draw Zook that day, and that's what came out of it. I was just having fun, which is mostly like most of the art pieces that I throw in there that I actually like. They usually come out of that. They usually come out of like, being spontaneous. Of like, I just want to draw this. Like, I just feel like drawing, I don't know, Zook eating a stack, for example. Usually they come out like the best in what I can do at the moment. mostly because I'm having fun and like I'm invested on it, and I'm not like feeling forced to do it, and it's just like I'm really on it, and I feel this one kind of showcases that, like that moment of like just silly moments, like having fun, like just doing something that I like, and that's pretty much the story behind this one.
Mm.
I'm also not a very serious person. Like there are often times where I'm serious but they're like really few in between. I usually like to draw memes, shit posts, stuff like that. Stuff that makes people like laugh. Um there are a few pieces that are more serious, of course there are, but I usually like to do lighthearted stuff, and this is one of them, you know.
It's the for me. I know. For me at least, it's the unblinking stare that gets me.
The unblinking stare, like staring into your soul while he's like just eating
I have hired
food.
Zook to stare at you.
He'd probably eat like, I don't know, he would be like 2 or 3 minutes staring into your eyes, not blinking, or chewing on the noodle snack. Yeah.
You ready to continue
That
with
was
the
the
next
energy.
piece?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
All right,
now
let's
I
see
think
the
it's this
next
one.
All right. Yeah. Now we see the next one.
Now we go to Zook. To Eve.
Oh, yeah, this one was
Ooh.
okay, for the ones who don't know, my favorite character is obviously Eve, out of NSR. And I like the particular, kind of like abstract slash kind of like, psychedelic type of art that is showcased in most places in the district that Eve is in. I usually like that kind of like very bright colors and contrasting and sort of like kind of psychedelic kind of thing, like colors changing all the time, and really kind of like artsy stuff that is more up to interpretation that it is something like it's in your face. Um like, oh yeah, the angles, they're angling. The angles are angling in this piece. This one started like also like in a very impulsive way. I remember I was waiting in Final Fantasy, actually, I was waiting for the FC house to be done with the lottery and stuff, and see if we got it or not with our little FC. And I was killing some time. I was like waiting and being like, okay, that's gonna happen, I guess, sometime or another. And I started making the sketch of this, and I soon realized that it was gonna take me a lot longer than just like, maybe 1 hour or two of sketching. No, I had to like paint it over. I had to like render it. I had to do all the angles. I had to. This one took me about 2 weeks to finish, and that's 2 weeks. Well, doing this art piece every single day during those 2 weeks, because I felt compelled to finish it. I was like, this is getting good. Like this, I'm enjoying this. This is getting good. This is getting like, it's kind of tickling a part of my brain that makes me want to keep drawing. So, and this is the result of it. And I remember, yeah, I also posted it on Twitter, and people really liked it. My family really liked it, and they're not really that into NSR or anything. My sister was like, "You need to print this and hang it on a wall," because I really liked it. And I was like, "Oh damn!" Like, wow. But yeah, it's like it also came out of like a moment of like idling around and wanting to do something, maybe to kill time. And part of my brain is like, okay, let's see, like let us start this and like see where it leads, basically.
Yeah.
And it led to this. Um, about the piece, it's really abstract. It's like, well, the character is like basically like two sides of the same person. One side is more, kind of out there and more like cutting edge, and the other side is like a little bit more sensitive, and it has a lot of things inside that need to come out. and basically it's like a mix of those, like some kind of like yin yang kind of deal. And I wanted to portray it in a way that, like, I was trying to like get in the mind of it and be like, okay, how would she portray it? Like, she wouldn't go like immediately in your face. It would be more of like, this type of like more abstract thing, and that's how this piece came out.
Right. Yeah, no,
I'm talking a lot, but I really like this piece.
no, like, for good reason, it looks amazing.
It's
I
really
think you got,
contrasting.
I think you gotta
Yes.
know about Club Eclipse. We are, do I dare say we are Eve's strongest soldiers?
Yeah, I drew so many Eves. Meryl also drew so many Eves. We both like we both we took Eve as a character, and we were like, we are gonna make so many pieces of her. we're just the Eve
lovers.
knowers. Oh my god, yeah. But yeah, it's a character I really enjoy. Kind of misunderstood in some ways, kind of like really artsy and creative in others, and she got me in a chokehold and she would not let me go. So yeah. At one point the NSR fandom thought we were twins, and what's funny is I do have a twin sister, but it's not Merle. So it was kind of funny.
No, I remember you told me this before. That's a thing that happened, Mars.
Yeah, no, I do have a twin sister, but it would be kind of hard for Merle and us to be twins because I live in Argentina and she's in the US, but it would be funny.
Long.
Right. You're ready to continue?
Yes.
Alright.
Okay, this last one, it's a little bit of a different style that I was showcasing before, and that's why I chose it. Because I not only do like really flashy, vibrant colors, sometimes I like to take it a little bit, easier and play more with like textures and stuff. This is Viera. It's a character from Final Fantasy XIV. That is not mine. I drew it for a friend. And I felt like practicing poses and stuff, and so I picked my friend's Viera dancer, and I picked one of the dancing poses, like one of the jumps. And since the character is from what would be like the Far East, I kind of like wanted to showcase more of like, my more like red colors, more like whites and like more texture stuff. Kind of like wanted to be more of those red and earthy tones. They're often more like showcased in that kind of like Far Eastern architecture and stuff. Kind of took inspiration from that, and also it was part of like the palette that my friend's character had, so I kind of wanted to work with that and a little bit more with like softer kind of deal.
Yeah.
And it was a good practice. I really like this piece. I like how it came out. I like the pose. I really like the pose.
Yeah, no.
And I like how the hair came out as well. I struggle a little bit with hair. Like, well, a lot of people struggle with hair in characters. I like how fluffy it looks. So yeah, like this piece was mostly chosen because a little bit different from what I usually do, but at the same time is within the range of what I want to do and like I like to do sometimes. So I wanted to showcase it and also like showcase something that maybe is not like NSR, because I choose like both of my previous pieces were pretty much NSR, but like to show more interests than just that. And yeah, that's why I chose it.
Alright. Yeah, no, God, this does remind me, I need to get around to doing like, not even just like more Final Fantasy stuff, just like more stuff like this, with like, this like kind of dynamic
Poses.
posing. Yeah.
Yeah, I also need to practice poses. Like, it's been a while. I need to like de-rust myself on it.
You know what? I made a mistake.
Oh.
I forgot. Gigi, is there anything that
Yeah?
you want to plug?
Oh, no, it's fine. Don't worry at all. It's so fine. Don't worry. Yes. When it comes to plugging things, all I have is my lovely Twitter where you can see all of my lovely stuff. Right now, I'm not really doing any projects that I can really talk about. So, the most I can really say is that right now on my Twitter, you can definitely see my little personal project that me and my friend are doing when it comes to D&D and Baldur's Gate. So, if you like stuff like that, you'll certainly find a lot of it there. No
And
worries.
and Danny?
Yeah. About what I would like to showcase, yeah, I could showcase my my Twitter account is underscore the nets. The OG the nets name was taken by the pudding company, so I couldn't take it. So it's underscore the nets, and my Blue Sky as well, which is like bsky.app, and it's the nets.bluesky.social. It's also in the chat if you want to check it out. So far it's like a little bit slow, but I'm cooking some stuff that I'll be posting pretty soon. So yeah.
Yeah. Very lovely. Moving on to Merle.
Hi.
Are you ready to show your stuff?
I am, but I also have to tell everybody that the 3 pieces I'm gonna show you are not these 3 pieces on my little promo because I struggled really hard to pick pieces. So the 3 I'm gonna show you are they're each different from each other, and I think they showcase my range a little better. Also, once again, there's Mari. She is the light of my life, so enjoy her.
Yeah!
Mari.
Mari!
Yeah.
I get excited.
Okay. So, for my first piece, if you follow my work or you know of me, I usually tend to draw things based on whatever inspires me or something from video games that I play. 9 times out of 10, those 2 points overlap and I get something really interesting. This piece is Gel Omiata from Palia. It is a free-to-play they phrase it as cozy life sim, and I think that's probably the best way to put it. But I played it for a little while. I got into the early access beta, and then once they did the full launch for early access, I enjoyed it. I played it with friends. It's gone through its ups and downs, but overall I had a good time with it. And Gel's writing is what got me. Now, 9 times out of 10, if you see anything that I draw that's based on a character, it's not really because of the design. It's more so either I made a connection with them or I just really like how they're written. I like their personality more than that. So for this piece, I titled it The Tailor Named Gel because he is a fantastic tailor. He doesn't really think highly of himself, but he doesn't recognize his skill level, which is kind of something that I felt could hit a lot of artists because we are our hardest critics. As with most things, I didn't think this was going to be like a full-blown piece when I first started. It was just like a warm-up sketch on the morning that I was sketching it out on paper initially. And then quickly thereafter, I realized I have to finish this. Like, I want to finish this. Also, I had a different pose I was trying to do, and I didn't like it. And then I finally settled on one that I really liked. And it was one from one of my favorite Vocaloid cover artists. Their name is Mio Dio Da Vinci. I got in touch with the artist because they not only use Vocaloid, but they also are a digital artist, and they animate like some of their vocal covers as well. So I asked them, like, hey, I was looking through your FAQ. Is there anything, like, is it okay if I use this pose that you did? I really like it. And I think it would fit this character that I'm trying to draw. And I got permission. So that's why like I'm able to showcase it, because usually if I reference like a pose and like the artist doesn't answer me, or like I was using it really to practice, I don't really showcase those ones because there's more of just practice for me. This one, I really loved how it came out and everything. And I linked back to the artist and they were really like, wow, like that turned out so good. So it felt really good because I've been a fan of Dio Da Vinci for like a long time, but also this piece was just like, I just loved it. Like, he's a very like gothic, like eloquent man, Gel. And I got to just throw in all my favorite colors, all the dark blues and the purples and like splashes of pink and red in there. And it was just really fun. I got to use different techniques in CSP that I don't normally do. So that was a good learning point for me as well. And I got to reference those giant stained glass windows in the back. The stained glass design is something I did, but the archways themselves are also referenced from the FC house that we made in Final Fantasy XIV. And I just put them together because I wanted to get the arch shape right. And then I just went and did the stained glass design myself. So, really like this piece. Means a lot to me. It would look good as a print, so I'll probably print it up and put it on my wall.
All of these art pieces
It's
like
really nice.
look great as a print. I'm not gonna lie.
So,
It's gorgeous. Your details are always so like in depth. Like,
Yeah.
my
Thank
God, you always
you.
put like every inch of your soul into everything you draw.
I'm glad that comes across. Also, I got a new computer recently, so this one does have a time lapse that's on my YouTube if anyone wants to look at that later.
I see.
But,
I might have to study that then. Yeah.
I've been trying to get better at doing it, so now we can move on to the next one.
Alrighty.
As Danny said, I also am an Eve enjoyer. She is my favorite character from the NSR. For a multitude of reasons. I could get into all of them here, but I'm not going to. That could be a very long conversation for another time. Point is, the entirety thing about her and like her battle and everything just hit me really hard in a place that I wasn't expecting to get gut punched by a game out of the blue. And I did, and the best way for me to sum up everything I feel about Eve is it just like rewired that portion of me. This piece in particular, minus the little background bit that I did, because that's also part of another piece that I did. Things that I like to do nowadays, I'm starting to realize, if there's a piece that I'm working on that requires or warrants use of like other landscape scenery in there, I like to reference back to prior pieces that I've made, so you get like a nice little visual. And here you can't really see it very well in the butterfly wings. I made them very translucent, but in each of the wings are previous pieces that I made. This piece here is actually in No Straight Roads Encore Edition. It was part of the Encore Edition art celebration pieces, and Metronomic continues to be the outlier, I think, in this day and age, where they honored exactly what they said. If you met the deadline and you met the guidelines for submissions, your art would be featured in game. So my art is actually in game, and that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I can talk a little more about NSI later, but
Yeah.
True, we have to hold our souls.
oh, God. Anyway, she just means a lot to me, and I thought, given the chance, it would only be right to give my all for that. And her color palette is just so nice. The standard white, pink, black, and yellow that make up her main, like, colors are just such strong contrast points. It makes it really easy to try new things with her. And it's just good. It's a really good feeling. This one also started on paper, and then I did a hell of a lot extra in Clip Studio by like color wise and everything. So yeah, there's that one. And it's her, the center one is her standard, the left side is her Christmas version, and the right side is, I think I also did her standard. because you can't really see her outfit there, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So,
All you need is space.
yes.
The power glare.
And so here we are. It's my third piece.
Oh,
Aw.
Another thing that anybody who follows me picks up on really quickly is I love to draw depictions of love. It is something that I just thoroughly enjoy as an artist. Like, I like to draw things that I want to see in the world. I like to draw things by pulling from different emotions and trying to make a positive impact in this life. Because there's just so much more going on all the time, always. If I can just have like a little ray of sunshine that I make for myself and it helps someone else smile too, then so be it. But anyway, this piece was made entirely on paper first, and then I did the convert opacity to transparency, I think, in Clip Studio Paint, because that's my main art program that I use. And so I got to keep my traditional line work and then use really soft brushes in Clip Studio to paint the image. So this is of my Warrior of Light and my co-healer's Warrior of Light, and I was listening to one of my favorite Vocaloid songs of all time, Honeymoon de Toi, and I just really wanted to capture that really nice soft and warmth, that warm feeling that the song gives me. And yeah, I also just am very, very, very fond of my co-healer, and he deserves the world. So yeah, so this piece meant a lot to me for a number of reasons. I think the way I approach art is always like, there's always a piece of myself in the piece, and usually stems from emotions as well. So typically, the more you get to like see from me, the more you'll get to pick up on like, oh yeah, I can definitely get that emotion from here. It's not something that like I intentionally try to do anytime now. It's just something that just kind of happens, and I just roll with it, and it's okay. Yeah. But yeah, they're my things.
very good. Very good stuff.
I like the
You,
fabric of the dress. Sorry,
yeah,
just the
no,
fabric
it's
of the
like
dress is just
I
the
love
peak.
this.
the
It's so
texturing on
romantic.
here. Yeah, the texturing on here is so good.
Thank you.
Oh,
So,
I attempted
do
to
you have
do
anything?
Ishgard in the background from memory. I was kind of losing my mind that day. I was sketching, and then I was like, you know, we're just gonna paint it and do a little blur, and I'll call it a day.
Yeah. So, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah. So, along with my card, where you can get most of my main portfolio pieces that I deem are worthy and get little looks at some different projects I work on, like more of Mari and Errol. You can see some Monster Prom mod work that I did. And then some whips and stuff that I thought should still be seen, but weren't necessarily like front page worthy. You can look at them all there on my card, and then be linked to my Twitter, where I am the most active. I do have a Blue Sky I try and post to as well. I keep that place a little more clean, so if people are just looking for my art, you can see it easily on Blue Sky, but Twitter usually gets more like, if you want to hear about stuff that I say, I mean, on Twitter. But more importantly, I started a Patreon recently, and I am in the process of launching my shop. And if you go to my Patreon right now, you can get a first look at one of the charms that I'm making. Samples are already ordered for that charm, and then I am working on a few other items before I can officially launch. Patreon's going to be the place to see all of those firsthand. Anything art-wise, behind the scenes, any really cool projects and stuff, Patreon's going to be the place to get it, and not all the posts in the future will be for free tiers, so take advantage of it while you can. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
Lovely
I believe
stuff.
that means it's your turn, Doon.
yeah, your
Oh, no.
turn.
It is
My turn.
your
Oh,
turn.
yes.
Yours.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. No. Let's go from top to bottom here. Yeah.
Okay, I think I got them ordered correct. Hang on.
It's okay
Lay
if
it
you have.
on us.
There we go.
All right, this beauty.
Ooh.
Oh,
This wonderful
Um,
design.
yeah. So this character's name is Patron Scratch. He is a demon that's taken on a form of a fake video game character in a fake video game. Um, and is basically just like using it to do your usual like demonic stuff. He was inspired by two things, mainly Pokemon, but specifically creepypasta, like Pokemon creepypasta, like specifically like Pokemon Creepy Black version.
Nice.
Like the idea is like you open up the game that he's possessed, and he's like the fourth starter option that you don't see in the other versions, and if you pick him, it's like it like plays out like more grim than it does originally. And he was also inspired alongside that, the Satanic Panic of Pokemon back then. Um, I was not. I think I was still like a baby around the time, but I have. I'm assuming some of you were old enough to remember that happened.
I remember.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, we
I might have been a little young.
I see. But yeah, no, it's like, um, the stuff of like the Satanic Panic kind of made me think of this idea of like a Pokemon type game that has like a focus on like medieval era like witchcraft and that kind of stuff, using like talismans, basically just like stuff like based off of like specific comments made at that time. I tried to integrate into the design. Though I will say, mistake on my part, there is like another character this is like supposed to be paired with. For Warlock, who is basically the fake game's player avatar. I forget why I didn't pick that one, but yeah, no, this is here to show I want to make cool as hell designs based off of admittedly and probably very silly ideas. That being of like old like internet horror story tropes from back in like the early 2010s. But yeah, no, he's like one of my strongest designs, and I'm really proud to have him under my belt. Um, this right, which it is. This was part of a monster prom thing I tried to make.
Heck yeah.
I know I made like a portrait for him, and like a key story item for him, which was like the cartridge he was possessing. But I just kind of that thing just kind of fell through when I got I think that was when I got my job, so I had to focus on that more. But yeah, no, very thankful for that time because I now have Scratch.
Man. Yeah, our Monster Prom era was a good time. It was
Yeah.
a very
That's
strong
so
time
amazing.
for growth. The design is so clean. I always love seeing your character designs, dude. They always just
Aw.
look so crisp.
They're so
and
clean and cool.
and they're very well thought
Yeah.
out. Were you ready for
The
your next
colors.
piece?
Thank you, kindly. But yeah, no, ready to continue.
Okay.
Which one's gonna be?
So, what's the deal with this one?
Yeah.
What's the deal here, man?
That's one of my
Okay.
favorites.
Okay,
The fish.
this this is a recreation of oh no, poor fish.
No.
Hi, Saria. Shoutouts to Animal of the Elements. I'll explain real quick. So this is a depiction of a moment that's been stuck in my mind from my very first tabletop campaign. shout outs to Sordy, to element of the elements over there down there, and Doom Curse. But yeah, no. I was given the opportunity to play. I think it's Trenny to play through my first ever tabletop experience with not D&D, but with a small indie system called Spell the RPG, which is the main premise of it is you have to create one-time spells through Scrabble. And it's a lot of fun, and you can be really clever about it. It's you don't have to be strict with the meaning of what a word you get out means. If you manage to spell fly, you can either gain wings or turn into a fly. That kind of stuff. And it was really fun. This verse during, I think, the climax of our first combat encounter where we... well, I hope seeing a memory of another spell campaign is nice to see even and to tell. But yeah, no, this was we were on a boat and we got pursued by a whole family line of fish enemies. We struggled through the the babies somehow. I don't know how. And I think we had the I think they were described as the teenagers, and we went through them fine. And then we had, I believe, what was the parent, and we destroyed it so quickly that since then the ending of that battle has been purposely exaggerated, rightfully so, where my character Belle, an exiled runaway circus strong woman, kicked it so hard in the stomach that it was launched into the stratosphere.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
The strongest kick.
Sounds about right.
Right.
The
Yeah.
kick.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
face up. I love the face. It's like the expression of the face.
Yeah. I remember there was just a habit of mine of drawing One Piece faces from back then. I was only 30 episodes in. I haven't even watched it since, but it's a face I think about lovingly, and this is just a piece I think about lovingly as well. I want to redo this sometime. I think I could do this even greater. And as Animal of the Elements said, it was one of the best moments in the campaign.
Glad to hear.
Yeah.
Were you ready for your...
Yeah.
Let's
ready to continue?
go.
Let's see it.
Ooh.
This is not one with a personal story, but there is a lot to talk about with technique. So last year I think there was a game that came out called Wizard with a Gun. About a wizard
Yes.
with a gun. Sadly, Galvanic Games is no longer with us, but they, in my opinion, made a very fun outing. With this game, I was fixated on it for a while, especially with its music, its art style, and just like I said, I'm a fan of silly ideas. So, survival game where you play as a wizard with that casts spells with guns. I'm gonna be down for that always, 100%. The thing with this is this is the first piece I have ever done that was dynamic after a long time, I believe. I forget. But a particular thing about this is that this was the first time I ever used those different layering types. Affect, add, remove, that kind of stuff. And I have Val here to thank. To help encourage and push me to make the special effects here pop out even more and more.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad I helped you learn. Now
Yeah.
you can go and do crazier stuff now.
Yeah. I gotta do more crazier stuff. I gotta make things that go hard, deserving of my OCs. But yeah, no, like I said, not a like story behind this one. But it's still representative of me wanting to take art a bit more seriously. Go hard to try.
Yeah.
Zalia put it perfectly.
Yeah.
That's always fun to
Um,
hear, though, like that a piece helped push you to go, for lack of better words, further beyond. You know.
Yeah. No. In general, I have. I'll say it again. Val's been like really helpful in that, in making me realize I can and should be more serious with like, with learning how to do better with this kind of stuff. Especially because I've been going at this for like 23 years now. But yeah,
impressive.
no, yeah. I think that might be about it for explaining my pieces. In terms of stuff I would like to plug, I have a website designed by, again, Val, the love of my life. I am honestly so happy with this website and the stuff we put into it. I'm hoping to get stuff ready to put onto it in the future. But yeah, no, check it out. It's a good time. And if you want to learn how to get like character design turnabout sheets, model sheets from me, you can check there as well. Thumbs up. And now, Val.
What? Huh? Me?
You-
I don't know which one's first.
we can go top to bottom.
We're gonna find out together. No, because his are different
Oh,
from his
right,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, I have different ones in mine too, so these are not representative of what you're about to see.
I see.
Let's find out.
Gonna be surprised.
It's a surprise for all of us.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah, I didn't remember that one being first. This one, there's not really any real big thing behind it, other than this is pretty much just inspired by one of my favorite albums, which is Tame Impala's Currents, which you'll recognize the pattern in the colors from the cover, and that was just me trying to like put some of the vibe from the music into a piece of art. That's all there is here. Liquify tool, my beloved, making the stripes easier to do.
I was gonna say, I always like
We love
looking at
it.
the line part because it's just like an optical illusion. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I just used like a stripe gradient with with no gradient part, and then I just used the liquify tool to make it look all wiggly.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
It's got a nice effect to it.
Very syrupy, very good.
Syrupy. Wow, new
Syrupy.
compliment unlocked.
Syrupy.
Therapy.
You've done syrupy, tasty looking water. Now you've done syrupy, tasty looking, whatever that is.
Yeah.
It's the
Lime
music
juice.
Syrup stripes.
Music juice.
Music juice.
B, when you showed me fucking Skylar King by XDC.
Good.
Yeah. You ready to continue?
Yeah.
It does rich the brain.
Oh.
The atmosphere of this one.
This
I freaking
one,
love this.
is if you want to find some meaning in it, I more than welcome you to look at this and try and figure out what makes you feel, what you think is happening here. Because the only thing I'm going to talk about is how I did it, which I actually rendered this all entirely in grayscale. and then I used gradient maps to color each part of it, and then went in with some touch-ups after that. Which, if you never use gradient maps to color, really recommend it if you don't mind rendering in grayscale first. Can speed up your process if that's the kind of art you want to do. That's all I got for this one.
You ready to continue then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa.
This fella. This
The
fella.
glow.
I will say what the deal with this one is this is something I saw in a dream. And then I spent like, the morning and the afternoon translating that into a drawing from my memory of what I saw in the dream. And that's something I do a lot with my art, is if I see something really cool in a dream, that's where I pull inspiration from most of the time. Maybe not immediately, but I will pull for my dreams from inspiration. I will pull for music for inspiration. Those are the main two things I'll pull inspiration from. Music's a huge one, dreams are a huge one. Like for this fella.
Yeah. Yeah,
Some weird magma fire knight guy. I don't know what his deal is.
I really like the glowy effect. Like it gives such a nice contrast with the more like dark armor kind of deal.
Yeah.
I really like the contrast.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I eat this. Everyone's colors are good here. I eat this.
I would eat it.
Crunch. Crunch.
I love
All
the
the art
background atmosphere too.
gone.
Yeah.
That was
It gives a
something I
very
came up
foreboding
with,
energy.
more recently when I originally sketched this like really tiny. So recently I came back and I just basically redid it. The setting of the dream was not conducive to the vibes, so I was like, well, he's got like fire and stuff on him, so I think like a bunch of burnt up, scraggly trees and smoke and mountains is a better setting for him. In his HD form.
Yeah.
Edible trees.
Please.
Do not eat the trees.
Don't eat those, they're
don't eat
crispy.
them.
I think one of the best compliments for art that anyone could possibly give is I would eat it. Like if
Yeah.
someone told me I would eat your art, I'd be honored. I'd be like, damn.
Even better if they can provide like the flavor. Like what do you think
Yes.
it tastes like?
Yeah.
I think it tastes like
Good hot curry.
yes, like curry.
Yo.
Like a barbecue black dragon sushi curry.
Whoa.
Ooh, barbecue.
I'm getting hungry.
We're getting in the specifics
I
here.
like food.
Crispy. Yeah.
Let me get the recipe for that.
Please
Food
have been
discussion has
consumed.
commenced.
Alright. God, I've been having so
Yeah.
much fun, it's like I think we lose focus. Whoa.
I think that's all I got here.
Right,
I'm gonna
gotcha.
put this message in chat. Like, I didn't write it about myself. Alright, copy isn't copy enough.
Shake sound.
Oh no.
If you'd
copy
like to
isn't
see
copy
Val's
enough.
work and find out
Yeah.
more, you can find him
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
There you
Thank
go.
And I
you.
have store where you can buy product. Do you like keychains? Do you like pin banners of scenes from hit MMORPG Final Fantasy 14? You can get that in my store.
I can guarantee you the Amarat pin banner Val made is fantastic. I have one. I
Yeah.
want another.
I personally really like the Hades keychains with Hypnos and the
I
ones
love
with...
them.
Yeah.
I have one
yeah.
of your keychains and they're so good. They're so beautiful. Definitely recommend.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Welcome. But yeah, make sure you go check out our stuff. This brings us to our next segment, right, Doon?
Yeah.
Yay!
Because we're not exactly out of things to show, aren't we?
We
Not at all.
talked about NSR. I mean, for when we talked about NSR before we would start showing things, but
Listen, it's just
it has played a role. And like we've said before, we've collabed on different things together.
Mhm.
We kind of did this a little out of order because we talked about how NSR played a role for us before we start showing things. But you know, it was
It was
fine.
inevitable.
It was gonna happen. NSR was gonna
Yeah.
be a talking point no matter what. Metronomic and the game that they put out just means a lot to us. I know multiple of us are very excited to see what they have for Onde Onde. Then a completely different story, seeing what's going
Yeah,
on.
so exciting.
But a few of us here, we're doing a little animation collab over the past few months as well. And we haven't posted it on any of our socials yet. And it's been really hard for me to not do that. Because I was so excited.
Doon.
Want to see.
Who wants to show these things?
Yes, I would love to show mine. Wait, I can't.
I mean,
No.
All in good time.
You can go
Let's-
throw mine up, segue into it.
Okay,
yeah.
there we
This is
go.
Alia. Let me get a peep.
So the prompt was creating a lo-fi kind of setting with your NSR character somewhere in Vinyl City.
Mhm.
So Val chose his... Ooh, it didn't loop. Hang on.
Oh,
There we go. Anyway, so Val chose his OC Moth and set them in Natura.
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
I can't get
Just
over
having food.
the water, I think.
Yeah, the water's really
The water's
impressive.
Yeah,
really
the water's really
nice.
nice.
dude, the water was a struggle. It was fighting me the whole way. I was like, oh, this doesn't look good. This isn't looking good. Oh my god, I'm starting over for the third time in a row. I finally got there though. I kept it simple. I didn't go crazy. I just kept it simple.
It looks
And
really
it looks
good.
amazing.
My
And
little baby moth.
it was mostly Val's idea for this collab.
Mm-hmm.
He mentioned wanting or saying that it'd be probably a good segue for anyone trying to get into animating to do something simple but still visually interesting.
Truly.
So across the board, not all of us here are animators.
Mhm.
Some of us have a little more skill than others. Some of us are more 2D oriented. Some of us are more 3D oriented. So it was a fun project to kind of lean into and learn a little more about animating in our respective chosen softwares. It was really fun. Doon, would you like to show yours next?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Eating fries. Ooh.
You
Yeah,
queen 'em.
so cute.
Yeah. Gosh. But yeah, no, so this one is of my character Tawny. No particular relation to Tony Hawk, I promise you. He's a character I have had for like a long like since I kind of met the gang. And during I think that was like during that Fantasy collab thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where we all had our characters like collaged together. But yeah, no. So I thought when talks of his collab was coming about, it made me want to like give Tawny like a proper design because his old one was like I'll say like very simple and in my opinion kind of slapped together. So I wanted to think of something very like thought out and stuff for this collab. and that's the design you see right now. It was particularly inspired by the artist Jur. People might know them for their stuff for Scotoon Network. They just had like particular fashion, and I felt like would fit Tawny and his own nature. Um, the idea of doing it in Sayu's district, Akusuka, sorry. Um, it I don't know. It felt like it made sense for the character. I feel like he would be the type of person who would be into. I guess Sayu might count as a VTuber. Yeah. I guess so. But yeah, no, it's just like I'm very honestly, I'm very thankful I was able to do this. Animation is a thing I've always wanted to like try my hand at getting into. It was a thing I wanted to learn in college, but that did not happen. So I was only able to like do little animations. I think some of which are lost to time now, maybe. But I have this I can show now, and like to show like my interest in trying to do this kind of thing. Um, I thought I was being smart by having like parts of the body being redone, and I'm not going to say it was a bad decision, but I will admit, I think I got too settled with the idea that it's just gonna be using moving around the limbs. Um, but I was able to like, do some fun new additional like with that, like fun new like parts to the animation. To make it like very expressive and stuff. Obviously it was like my first proper animation project. It's like, it could be better, but honestly, I am honestly really happy with how I did this.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's so amazing. It's really cute and really
Mhm.
charming. I like the style of animation going on here. It just has that very like charming style. Like you want to care about this character very much so. Like you don't really know much about them, but you feel for them, you know?
Mhm.
I like when he's crawling on the board, like
Yeah,
him on it.
he's
Like,
so
holy shit.
expressive.
I'm very
Yeah,
proud of that
expression of that.
specific frame where he like pulls his arm away from like the flurry of like wipes.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
really
Oh yeah,
like
like
it.
the
Like the
like
Yeah.
spear.
follow through. Yeah.
The smear.
Yep.
He's scrubbing.
Okay.
Yeah. No. That's all I have to say with that.
All right. I will show mine. So here she is.
Yay!
I
Molly.
opted
Mari.
to do Mari in her June Fever apartment, and so it's styled a little more closely to the typical lo-fi like the lo-fi girl streams. But I wanted it to have Mari in her environment, so I got to like draw her room and overlooking Dream Fever. You've got the NSR blimp going and the little spotlights and stuff, but you can see Mari's just like reading her book. She's probably journaling, her keyboard's out of the way. So I wanted to like give a nice little inside look at just her relaxing and not necessarily dealing with any of her NSR duties as well. You can see on the shelf you've got like little pictures and things and cards and her albums and there's posters. It was just really fun to set up her scene. Yes, Errol is there.
We see her all.
Her little weird blue friend.
It's so great.
And she's got like her batons on the shelf, and then there's like little gift thank you cards and welcome cards at the top of the shelf, and there's a picture with her, even Errol, at the top. I really like this collab because it gave me a chance to explore some more of Clip Studio's features and kind of get back into the swing of it. I really like animating Clip Studio. I have Clip Studio EX version 3. I kind of justified the purchase because I love all the extra animation frames I get to use. It's unlimited, and it can just, whenever I choose, if I want to animate a portion of a picture that I didn't think I was going to animate, I could just create a new timeline right then and there. So that was really fun for me. And then getting to just like mess with like the camera angles in Clip Studio in the animation function was really fun. And getting to do like the little blinking lights and things. It was just an all-around fun experience. And it got to center around Mari, and I loved it. I loved getting to create her little outfit and her headphones, and getting to use that picture of Dream Fever in the background is one that I painted that's part of a different picture. So it was nice to kind of, anybody who's seen my previous work would be like, oh, I know who that's from. Because you see a different part of her apartment in that other picture, so it's really nice. I think the hardest part about this was like doing the page turn because of how I kind of set up the book itself in the layers. So in the future, like, I already know what I do differently. But it was fun. I liked it. I would definitely try and do it again. I've saved it in a way I can just add here and there. It was a really nice project. I'm glad that Val had the idea for the collab. So,
And I'm glad that you had the energy. You brought the energy to the idea.
Yeah.
Why?
it was fun. It was something we
Yeah.
got to do. It was also one of those things where it's like, it was a collab, but you got to do it like the way you wanted, right? Like, you weren't dependent on someone else to be able to do your part. So I think I really like that too, because there's been projects in the past where it's like, yeah, I'm all about it, but I can't proceed because I have to wait for someone else or something happens, you know? Like, so I really liked this. Yeah, so
I'm glad we
those
did
are-
this.
Me
Yeah,
too.
no,
Lovely.
It kind of feels like
Nice.
just in time for the NSR anniversary this month. It wasn't
Right,
planned
yeah.
that way whatsoever. I know it wasn't, but it was just kind of funny how it all like ended up being that way, you know?
Yeah.
Yee.
So
Mine is almost done too. So
I can't
hopefully we'll get to
wait.
post it in this month too.
I know, I
Yeah.
can't wait. I'm so excited to see what Mars and Gigi brought to the table for it as well.
See, in the next stream that's done, we can showcase them.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll see. We'll see.
For mine,
Sweat.
for sure. I know it for sure. I have my timeline. Y'all are gonna get it.
Oh,
And I think that's like the last of everything we had surprise-wise to show people.
I believe so.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's back
Yeah.
to the couch, back to the club.
Back to the club.
After
Nice and
we-
relaxed.
yeah, after showing so much about ourselves, which makes me think I can imagine some of the people in chat might be a bit intrigued, to say the least, about us and what we might be about and what we might think about stuff. So, I'm wondering, do some of you folks have any questions, perhaps?
Hold on.
Questions.
Yes,
Yeah.
questions.
I know there were
I
a
know we
couple of
had
them
one
earlier.
earlier.
I have a couple of
Yeah.
I have about 3. So
Wonderful.
yeah, we can go through this now while people think of their questions. I don't I think these two might not be here with us right now. I think, but that's okay. That's okay. First question is from Rocket Spy. How did you get the push forward despite the fear that might have gone on?
Well, I think we kind of touched on that earlier when it came in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were saying there's strength in numbers basically, and
Mhm.
they can't stop all of us.
Exactly. Together we are
Basically.
mighty and unstoppable.
And even if one of us got stopped, someone else will drag us to the finishing line.
Exactly.
Honestly, that too. Yeah. But just again to reiterate, strength in numbers, of course. Our determination and passion is stronger than the fear of the unknown or the fear of the how do I even begin type of deal. as well
Yeah.
as we cover each other's weak spots, so our strong points are the things that shine through across the board. So it takes the worry out of, oh, I'm not super good at this part. Well, someone else does that part. You get to focus on the thing that you're good at. So
Honestly, doing it as a group is a lot less scary than doing it on your own, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Where it's
Yep.
like, okay, I know there are other people, and when one of us can't do one thing, somebody else can do it, and then, you know, shit's happening in somebody's life, somebody else can like pick up their like, you know, thing until that person's able to do it again. So it, you know, it's less scary
Yeah.
do it as a group than just to kind of flounder around on your own with no backup whatsoever.
mhm.
Yeah, it's kind of nice that like to know that someone has your back, and like maybe some stuff that someone still needs to like get practice on, another person can be like, yeah, I got you. Like it's really reassuring. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Next question also comes from Rocket Spy. What are our favorite NSR bosses in terms of music and design?
Oh, I think we said it, but
Yeah.
who wants
Me-
to start though? Who wants to start though?
I guess we can just go back to the order. Mars?
That's true.
Oh, okay. That's fine. So it's a music and boss?
Yeah, favorite like
And boss
NSR
design.
boss in terms of like for music and design.
Oh, DKOS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I genuinely
He's the
I
best.
like I was the best man. I love DK West just because of like, well, first off, like how the boss starts, right? It's like you really like, who's this guy coming out of nowhere? It's like a weird boss fight, right? Like personality wise and design, he's just really funny. But going into like more of like, oh wow, this is like very impressive from just a game design standpoint, right? Um DK West kind of acts as kind of like a way as like a little sneak peek of what Metronomic is capable of in terms of a game studio and also a Malaysian game studio at that, because it demonstrates like, oh, there's a uniqueness in terms of like the boss structure, right? It's not a simple, oh, you just go up and hit it, right? I love that. I love that it's also a rap battle. It's really funny. And the fact that it's based on DK Barat, which is I guess you could say it's kind of like a form of like chanting musical song and everything like that. It acts kind of like a rap battle in a sense, but it's different in structure and different in structure. So what I like about it is that it kind of, and also it incorporates Wayang Kulit, which is like a shadow puppet art as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it just combines a lot of Malaysian elements with things that we're familiar with, like, you know, rap battles and things like that. And I think genuinely that is my favorite boss because it kind of shows for me that, oh, this company has a lot of potential to really flourish in a lot of this avenue if they stick to their strong Malaysian roots with their, you know, incorporating musical concepts in game design. So yeah, that is my favorite boss fight.
Yeah, no, it's like it's definitely like just cool, especially because in my opinion, at least, it's like he's a character that they let casually speak in his native tongue even.
Yeah.
All right, Gigi.
Oh boy. So, my favorite NSR boss. I truly can't tell. My favorite NSR boss design and music wise, like all around, is indeed the 1010 bots and like especially Neon J specifically when it comes to like the design aspect. I just really like, as a person who also comes from Asian culture, it's always really, like really funny to like parody off of things that like currently exist in like the actual real world. So, an idol group that's made out of, soldiers and how sometimes idol groups in real life kind of act like soldiers that have to follow instructions, follow the line. It's just very, very funny and amusing in that sense. But there's also a lot of heart in it because, Metronomic is a company that knows how to put little like droplets of lore and just like those little bits of like heartfeltness into every little piece of their game. So of course, even though, like it's a parody on idol groups and boy bands and all that, they make their quips, their jokes, their little jabs here and there. But it's also kind of like a very heartfelt like touch on just like a creator and his creations and him like trying to flourish and go forward in life through his creations and getting to do what he likes, showcase what he likes after he's kind of retired from a life of hardship considering Neon J's lore and all that.
Mhm.
So it's always been really interesting to me with that. And it's like, oh, and just the design of like the district for Neon J is just very like up my alley. Neon lights, very bright. Everything's very futuristic, colorful. I'm very for colors, so it's just a very like attractive area and like zone for me personally. So I've grown quite an attachment to that, and thankfully the boss music is my favorite genre of kind of like a like techno pop in like mixed with that. So it's always been really great, and all the like extra remixes, especially the Christmas one, is something to be so very endeared about. Even though the reindeer outfits for the 1010s are still kind of horrifying.
They're kind of funny.
They're kind of horrifying, but in a charming way. Charming, very charming. It's just a very fun boss fight, and it's very like jarring, I would say, in like how it presents itself. I'd say it kind of has like the same flow and feeling as Sayu's fight, where there's a lot of like joking manners in front of it, and it is very much trying to like play heavily on the tropes that come with the genre before giving you a different perspective and opening your mind to the fact that these characters have something more going on behind them. And I think that's something very like a very continuous theme for all the bosses in NSR actually, is that they lead you with assumptions and things that you can presume about them, whether through parody or something deep, or maybe a conflict, miscommunication. You don't really know that side. And then, at the end of the boss fights, they usually showcase and give you that like insider look that makes you realize that, these are still people, and they came from all different like sides of the world, whether they be an ex-marine from the war or some like ex-teacher who is trying his best to get back into the world somehow to be seen. It's all just very nice, and I like that kind of symbology. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danny.
Well, as you could probably tell, my favorite in terms of like design and also like aesthetics and stuff is Eve, and also a little bit of like her story as well, because like she's very misunderstood due to her unique view of the world around her, and that very same thing for which she's misunderstood and she suffers a lot from it is the very same thing that pushes her and skyrocket her to like greater heights, to the point that she can basically mold the world around her. And I really like that take on like maybe your one of your biggest like insecurities or maybe weaknesses can be your greatest strength as well. I really like that take on that sort of topics, especially when like your inner world is completely different to what's going on around you, and maybe you feel like the outcast, like no one really understands you, no one really is like you. but there's no point of like trying to be like someone else or like trying people to be like you when you have such a unique way to see the world. You know what I mean? I really like that. I really like that message. Like you don't really need anyone else to complete you, basically. Like you are fine as you are. Um, and in terms of music, I do like Eve, but I gotta say I have a soft spot for like guitar riffs and rock. So I really like I really like the music that Mayday and Zook have, Backbang Junction, and also I really like the music of the Tatiana fight a lot. I really like Tatiana. I do like Eve a little bit more in terms of like personally like my favorite character, but Tatiana's music is just so it's so good. It's banging. Like every time I see that fight, it's like, damn, this is such a good banger. Um, so I have to mention her because like in terms of music, it really gets me. This is more like in the line of like the stuff that I like in terms of music. Personally, I do like alt rock and like indie rock. I really like it. I do like pop as well, and more like indie music. But I hear a guitar riff and it scratches a part of my brain. So I had to mention her. But yeah, it would be Eve and Tatiana.
Right. Merle, who's your favorite?
Well,
Yeah.
as we heard before,
Mhm.
maybe like 15, 30 minutes ago, it is Eve. Her design is just gorgeous. I love the depth of her character because at face value you get something completely different versus if you took the time to like kind of really think about it from all sides. I think a good way that Metronomics shows that is if you just go through Dream Fever and all the interactables with Mayday, you get a lot of Mayday telling you, oh, I'm not sure what this means, this is just weird, I don't really get it. That type of thing about all of Eve's art pieces. And then if you use Zook to interact with them, he gives you a little more insight because he did know her very intimately. And he touches on them, and then for some of them you even get a little bit more lore pieces about their time in college together when they were an actual thing and little band duo together, so that was really cool. In terms of music, I like Eve's rock version a lot. I think it's got a lot of the emotion that is lying underneath but is also still kind of in your face in her battle if you go through it. But I also, and I don't exactly know what it is about it, but the approach theme to Eve's battle, like as you're going through her approach sequence, that theme, I think I like a lot more. I have no idea what it is about it. If I'm stuck in an art slump or if I'm just not motivated or I don't know what I want to draw, I can just put on Approaching Eve and I just get to work. And like, no problem. It never fails. I don't know what it is about it. I just really like that song. I really like it.
It's just the Approaching Eve vibe.
Yeah. She also just makes for a very good muse for a lot of different art topics, and it's like, oh, that's kind of silly to say because she is like the artist and not only a musician, but she is like an actual like artist in various media. So usually if I'm trying like a new skill set or something, 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be like a doodle with Eve. Or if I wanted to get better at drawing hands, which thanks to Eve I did.
Yeah.
I usually draw her in her Diva's Realm form where she like has all 6 of her arms out. And so it forced me to learn and practice interesting poses for hands and to really get familiar with hand anatomy and posing because she has a very distinct anatomy that's different from a lot of like humanoid looking characters and humans in general. she's very elongated. She's got really off dimensions, I guess, if you want to call it. So it's always a good time and always very fun to like use her and like draw her interacting with somebody else that has maybe more of like quote unquote standardized proportions, because the sheer changes, it makes for a good time as an artist, like trying to like, even if I'm just warming up or doing something, it's just really good. But yeah,
Yeah.
for those reasons, and then for my own personal ones, she's my
Eve is
favorite.
built-
She kind
like
of is built like a creepy pasta.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit. Not gonna lie.
I mean, look at her battle. Mayday's side is with all the chaos and the big bangs and everything. And you look at Zook's side, it's all calm and everything. And maybe he gets hit with a
Confetti.
laser. Maybe.
So interesting.
But Mayday, she's going through it. So, but yeah, it's a good time. So I'm really appreciative for Metronomic for wanting to deliver such a really to deliver this character, and for Hosmir for fighting to have them include her, because there was a time they're gonna scrap her completely for the game.
Right, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
True.
thank you, Mr. Hosmir. Thank you, Dime, and Ellie, and everybody else on board that brought her to
Yeah.
light.
A little
Doon?
stay.
Who's your favorite, Doom?
Yeah.
And why?
I like them all equally. The Christmas mix for Neon J's boys. That's like that has earworms in my head sometimes. But you know what? I will say it, Eve. Because mostly for like the story specifically, James Ladino's mix of her theme, that's also kind of an earworm for me as well. Like on random days, it just plays in my head, without prompt.
I agree.
But I think I like her because it's like, it's more actually I've grown to understand and appreciate her, and that's kind of been like, to me, what represented like this like group of friends to me. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
I won't go into like personal stuff obviously, but I was, let's say, just a clown person, clown mindset in not a good way, and I was one of those people who didn't understand Eve. But it was when I saw like Mur talking about it and kind of explaining it, and then going for the game again, reading Eve's dialogue and stuff alongside Zook's, and like for a dynamic together, and it's like, oh wait, no, it's not like I didn't like Eve. It's just I didn't like seeing a mirror basically, with like Zook and stuff.
Mhm.
So it was true that I was able to like understand myself through their story. And yeah, no, it's in terms of like designs, like I said, I love them all equally. I definitely I can definitely say I like the Eve's level, and like just everything she does, like what like Burr and like what Denny said, like, yeah, no, it's just like, it's all just sick, dude. I don't know what else to say. It's just like, yeah, no, I'm very thankful for Eve. I'm very grateful for her. She taught me to be better.
Yee.
Do you have a favorite, Val?
Well, I mean, alright, my submission to the Encore edition was Eve, but the character that I made a cosplay for in about 2 weeks, the night after I watched all the cutscenes for NSR, was Neon J.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
God, I remember those 2
But-
weeks. You like blacked out.
It was great.
was blacked out. made like a partial cosplay. Don't know what happened those 2 weeks.
Just blacked out when you woke up. You had Neon J.
Suddenly,
I
there
love
was
that
just like
cosplay. It's so good.
It's like
a
the
TV
one.
head in my room.
It's like the one scene in Spider-Man 3 where like the fucking symbiote starts like crawling onto his body while he's asleep. That's what
Yeah.
you of your cosplay.
Yeah. I blacked out. Had a Neon J cosplay 2
Oh,
weeks later.
Dude by Neon J, yeah. What Zalia said.
Real.
God.
The funny thing is like the music I listen to the most from the game is probably a DJ Subatomic's theme though.
Yeah.
No, it's valid.
It's good.
It's real
really good.
cop out
Theme.
answer, but I have 3 answers because I'm not a words guy. I'm not gonna be able to word out maybe with the same eloquence as everyone else about what character they like and why, but Eve is good shit. Neon J, really good. Subatomic's theme is awesome.
Yeah.
And also the environmental design in each of their stages and in the districts. Eve's is really good. Eve's approaching stage too, not just their theme, but like that whole stage, very good. Very well designed. So I have 3 answers.
Yes.
Oh,
Very good.
man.
Yeah, no,
Immaculate.
it's like it's the kind of game that lets you have the option to explore just a bit more further with your bosses, and that being like whole kind of point of it of like you can go and like do your quest with your expectations of what these bosses are. But like Mayday and Zook, the more you actually like learn things about them, the more you realize how misguided like things actually turned out to be. And that's like very much a thing I really like about the story in general.
Oh, for sure. I definitely
Yeah.
love the main two. I was gonna say antagonist, protagonist.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they could be. I mean, they could be antagonists depending on your perspective.
Truly.
Yeah.
Uh,
Technically.
But no, I think the two protagonists in the story are very fun and like a good like contrast to each other in terms of mindset and how they handle situations of like rejection or dealing with their problems in terms of like talking it out or going headstrong with it, to vocabulary. And it's just overall like I think Mede and Zook are fun protagonists overall. And also shout out to the Easter eggs of the solos in the games as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just
Those are so
overall,
fun.
Lovely stuff.
Such a good time.
Last question here, I believe. This one comes from Angray. What are our thoughts? I love speaking. On
You're Gucci.
Metronomic's upcoming game Onde Onde. Every time I say that name, I keep remembering Ahaz Mir like saying how funny it is to hear non-Malaysian people pronounce that.
I guess, am I starting? Or
Yeah, we'll go down the line
sure.
again.
Yeah.
all right. Well, first off, talking about the pronunciation of name, I pronounced it wrong when I first saw the title because I pronounced it under right, and I was
Oh,
like,
that's valid.
that's not what it says, and I was like, well, when he said it, I was like, okay, thank goodness. I have a pronunciation, but from what I'm seeing so far from like the only trailer we have so far, perhaps something for the anniversary. I don't know. Fingers crossed.
Maybe.
Fingers crossed.
Maybe.
Maybe. I'm
Might
hoping.
be able to get something.
I was very impressed by the visuals of like the illustrations they showed off, and also the little bit of the in-game graphics and art style, right? The especially for the second game, I was like, oh wow, this is gorgeous. Like it's like a like a picture book, right?
Yeah.
Very children's illustration, which makes sense because the the main artist, I believe, that is going to be working on this is D Star, and he has worked on children's books before and things of that nature. So it kind of leans into that vibe, and I love like the detail, the coloring, and yeah, just art direction wise, I'm very, 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 very excited to see how it goes because it just looks super lovely. So
Yeah.
that's my thoughts. And also music, like I said, I want them to do more Malaysian like infusion with the game design and musical concepts. So that's also something I'm very excited for them for Metronomic to have their own voice in the industry, and I think that'll be really nice to see.
Yeah. So, Danny, Gigi, what do you think?
No, you're Gucci. Don't worry. I finished it. From the things I did see, since we have only had some very small glimpses for the project, first and foremost, I know that like a lot of people, and like even myself when I first saw it, it's like a lot of people are really excited and wanted like more like NSR, and of course it's like normal to want more of something that you love and have come to love dearly. But I'm actually very, very happy that their next project that they're taking on has such like a stark difference in comparison to their very first game. I'm very like both surprised and very impressed by like the general like scope of like art style and genuine like thematic styles that they're going along with. Like we don't know like the full premise of the game, but already from what they've shown with like the art style being so different and just the general protagonist being something entirely different from what we're used to, it's just very like exciting in that sense because it's like an entirely different world. We have no idea what the full story is going to be about, but knowing from what we've already seen from the company, I know it's going to be something really, really heartfelt and full of like genuine love and care. And you know, it might teach us something about ourselves along the way. So that'll be really, really fun. I'm excited to see the music because the music obviously is so, so great. They have such a good touch and connection with music. And I trust Hasmir with all the projects that they touch, considering he was like a part of my favorite Final Fantasy in the world, which I still consider to be one of the golden games within that series. So I just know that from his experiences from there that the team is always going to be treated well. Their passion is going to thrive through it, and they're going to put so much care into this new game. I'm so excited to see what they touch upon and what the general like lessons or like themes of this entire project will turn out to be.
Yeah, no, I agree. I am, as much as I want to see more Final City, I'm very happy for doing for her own thing. In place of that. Okay, now Danny.
Hi. Yeah, no, I'm really excited about it. Mostly because yeah, it's very different to what they done with NSR, at a glance at least. Like what we saw so far about the trailers and stuff, and like the art for it. They're going in a completely different direction while still, you know, trying to honor like where they come from and like the culture and stuff, which I really love. Like I wish I usually want to see different places and cultures like giving love letters to where they come from and like what they experience every day, and what makes them basically. So I'm really excited about, like, mostly from the point of like someone who is from South America, and whenever I see representation of like part of like my culture, for example, I always get happy about it, especially if it's like as closest as it can be to the real thing. Like I understand like sometimes you cannot like mirror like everything that happens in every part of the world, because maybe you lose like the thread of like, maybe if it's fantasy and stuff, you lose the thread of what you were planning to do in the first place. Like that's not the ideal. So I'm really glad that they're like portraying this little piece of like, this little piece of like bits and bits of like Malaysian culture and stuff. And I wish to see what comes out of it. Honestly, I'm really glad they are going through with this game.
Yeah. Merle, what do you think?
I'm really excited. I love the texture of the art sneak peeks we've gotten to see so far, and just like the overall look of the game. I know it's gonna be more story based, and I'm a sucker for stories. I love all of that. I love being able to throw myself entirely into a game and get like lost in its own story. So I'm super excited about it. I'm very excited to hear the music for this game. I'm sure it's gonna just be wonderfully paired with the content that they're trying to show us. And I don't know, I really don't know what to expect from it. I'm just looking forward to it. I'm happy that they are getting to do another game and getting to do one that's more story based, and not like having to stick with the rhythm. Which is funny because I know they all love their rhythm games. We know that very well. But the fact that like their icon is a metronome, that's always going to be something that I think that's a part of them. But it's going to be really fun to see what else metronomic can bring to the table. I think I'm rooting for them. I know. I'm just excited to see what else we get to see.
You'll basically said it for me. I'm personally I'm curious. I've learned better with like things in general to like to handle my excitement for things. But I am definitely the most curious about this game. I am very much a fan of the art style because it reminds me of like children's books I would have as a kid. But yeah, no, it's just, and like I said there earlier, it is really nice to see like they're not worried that doing a whole different thing and not just like a sequel is the way to go. Like no, they're doing like a proper new story. That's just that. I'm looking at the images of it right now, and it's just like, I mean, it's food based, so again, I'll say it. I want to eat this.
Roots. Honestly, when it comes to like edible things and like food and stuff, and like there's games about it, it's great.
You cannot go wrong with food themed characters.
Yeah.
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 Edible video games.
Ooh, food.
A game where you just eat your way through like the environments and obstacles and stuff. Val, what do you think?
I mean, it's been a while since I've seen the trailer for the game, so my thoughts will not be as fully formed, but I'm glad they're still working on another game.
Yeah.
And I just hope it's successful, because I want them to do well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want them to just have, like, kind of like cult hits. I want them to have, like, really successful, like, big hits that, let them continue to be a studio and make games with their specific voice.
Yeah.
Because, hey, they're a Malaysian dev team. I want to see what they're bringing to the table. I want to see them bring their culture into stuff, and that means they need to be successful so we can keep seeing more from them. So I hope it's a successful game.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Let's see. Do we have any more questions from chat? Kirby's true.
Kirby
You know
is
what?
an
I
edible
forgot
game.
about that. I can't believe I forgot about that.
True.
I'm foolish.
Games that you can eat. No.
But yeah, no, I think that's about it for questions. And I think that'll be where we'll close up shop for tonight. Okay, yeah, no. Folks, um, thank you, so much for joining us. I saw inside like a couple people have followed us too. Thank you again. Like, thank you so much for that. If you had fun with us and you haven't subscribed yet, do that. Do that. Follow us on Twitch and on our socials, but not just the Eclipse accounts on Twitter and Blue Sky, but also on our own blogs too, which as you've seen we've been sharing in the chat, not just for our amazing art, but also you can like more easily catch updates on like future streams and the like. Speaking of which, our next stream, as kind of like part of our celebration of us finally getting together and debuting this, will be a our first draw pile streams, first of many, with a special prompt for it as well. The date of which will be announced soon. Again, follow Club E-Clipse on Twitter and Blue Sky for the date of that, and also our own accounts, our own vlogs, so you can like more easily see it as well, because we will be as our own strongest soldiers, we will be retweeting info from the account as well. But yeah, no. I think before we say goodnight, does anyone have anything you'd like to say first?
Yeah, I could say something. I would like to thank everyone who decided to join us for this little bit of chatting and showing our get together and like our art and like understanding why we are here, and yeah, pretty much that. And like once again, I would urge you all to like, if you want to, if you feel like sticking around with us, to like follow us and like follow in our respective social medias. And yeah, we will be soon like announcing where we're gonna do like the draw pile, and we got a lot of things coming up as well, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, I would like to thank you all for coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I'd also love to thank everyone who came to see us and are happy to support us and see our future endeavors. There's so much that we want to show and do, and I hope you're all going to enjoy it so much. I'm just so excited to be here with every single one of your lovely souls. I can't wait for the stuff that we are going to do in general. I'm elated and full of joy for everything, and I'm just so very thankful to be here in life right now, sitting here and knowing that we're going to have an awesome time, and that we're going to bring awesome times to every single one of y'all who have come here to support us. Please do keep a good watch out on all our social medias, and we'll let you know when we're going to keep doing more stuff.
Is that it from everyone?
And I think with that, just if you're wondering a way you can support us, the best thing you can do is make sure you check out our handles and boost us on social media as well. If you're not able to, like, because I know some of us have Ko-fis and shops and things. If you're not able to monetarily support, definitely go and like drop a comment or reply to something. We love to hear from y'all. We love to hear from our audience. It just really makes the day go well. So I appreciate everyone coming out here and giving us just checking us out and enjoying your time here. I hope you enjoyed our tunes, our little chats today. I hope you enjoy getting to see some of our best work, honestly. And just know that this is only the beginning.
All right. I could not have said better. Cannot have said it better myself. All right. Once again, I'll ask: is that everyone? As simple yes, I'll take. Yes or no?
Yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
Yeah.
alright.
In
I'm sorry, Sally.
Oh, they've seen it.
Oh, you saw.
They saw it.
You saw demons.
Damn,
Yeah.
the whole stream didn't notice.
He almost made it the whole stream.
Almost.
Be
Our
sure.
secret's out.
I want y'all to keep coming back, if not for us to look at how our background changes. Okay.
Mhm.
We have plenty of fun things in store for y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Put him there.
Mm,
All right.
Mm.
All
Alright.
right. I think in that case, with all of that, again, thank you so much for your patronage, and have a wonderful night. Goodbye.
Bye.
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 Bye.